Welcome students. Good morning to one and all. So today we will start with the subject hydraulic and pneumatics. So this is for final year engineering student, and today we will be studying about the unit number 1, that is basics of fluid power and pumps. And in today's class we will study about the fluid power basics, advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so before that we will briefly see what are there in the syllabus for unit number 1. Okay, so for unit number 1, that is basics of fluid power and pumps. So here we will be studying about the basics of fluid power, and we require some prerequisites. So that already you have studied in the fluid mechanics, that is about the properties of the fluid and some of the laws like Pascal's law, Bernoulli's equation. Okay, so that video is separate. So in this chapter, that is, we will study about the fluid power basics. So in this fluid power basics, we will be studying about the hydraulic system and pneumatic system, their components, then advantages and limitations. Then we will study about the fluid power distribution, that is how the fluid is distributed through the pipes. Okay, through the pipes, then tubes, and here some laws will be there. So that also you have studied in the fluid mechanics, that is minor laws and major laws. Okay, then Reynolds number, all this will come in the fluid power distribution. Then we will study about the standard symbols. So standard symbols is nothing but the ISO symbols. Okay, ISO symbols. So how you are going to represent the pumps, then motors, accumulators, actuators. Okay, so always no need to draw the diagram, construction diagram. If you know these symbols, so then we can easily represent the system. Okay, then we will study about the energy loss in the hydraulic system. So since the flow, that is the oil or the air, it will be transporting in the system, so there will be losses. Okay, so we have to study that losses, so that energy loss also we will study. And then important is, so this part was related to the introduction. This was the introduction to the fluid power. Then comes the pumps. So here the pumps, we are using the positive displacement pumps. Okay, so positive displacement pumps, we will study the types, classification, then principle of working. Okay, then construction details. Then here we have to study the construction working, advantages of vane pump, then gear pumps. Okay, and radial and axial plunger pumps, then screw pumps. Okay, so all these are the different types of positive displacement pump. So some that is vane pump, gear pump. So all these come under the rotary pump, and radial and axial plunger pump, it will come under the category of reciprocating pumps. Okay, so then we will study about the power and efficiency calculations, then the characteristics. So this much covers our unit number 1. Okay, so this briefly I have explained. So all this thing we will, each and every topic, each and every point we will study in detail. Okay, so today we will study about the basics of fluid power. Okay, so first we will start with the introduction. So if we see the introduction, there are 3 methods for transmitting the power from one point to the another. So normally what is happening, so we are transmitting the power. Okay, so here that is, if we say that is fluid power, means what it is, the power transmission from one point to the another point. So this power transmission can be done through mechanical transmission. Okay, so mechanical transmission can be done through the shafts, gears, then chains, belts, etc. Then we can also transmit the power from electrical way, that is we call it as the electrical transmission. So see, electrical transmission, we know how the electricity is transmitted. So it is transmitted through the wires, then transformers, etc. Okay, then we can also transport the power by using the liquids, that is, or gas in a confined space. Okay, that is the confined space. So we are talking about this one, that is fluid power. So fluid power also we can transport the transmit the power. So we know this method, mechanical transmission. Already we have studied this in our second year, third year. That is how the power is transmitted through shafts, gears, and all. Then we know about the electrical. Already you have studied in the first year of the engineering. Okay, so here this subject is about the fluid power. So fluid power, we can also call it as the hydraulics and pneumatics. So earlier it was called as the fluid power. So whatever subject we are studying, so it was the fluid power in the 2012 pattern. So now it is hydraulics and pneumatics. So if we see the what is fluid power and its scope. So fluid power, so it is the technology which deals with the generation, then control and transmission of the forces and movement of mechanical element or the system with the use of pressurized fluids in a confined system. So that is in the confined system, means that is the closed space. Okay, so mainly the purpose of fluid power is what you can see, that is the generation. Okay, power generation is there, that is control and transmission. Okay, so here in the fluid power we will be using both liquids and gases are considered as a fluids. So liquids means what? Liquids means it will be the hydraulic system, and gases means mainly the gas will be air, and some cases we may use the nitrogen. So if we are using the gases, then that will become the pneumatic system. So fluid power system, it includes a hydraulic system. Okay, so hydra means water, that is in the Greek. We know all we are derived from the Greek concepts. Okay, then pneumatic system is that pneumatic system means what? Pneuma, that is means air. So fluid power we can categorize into hydraulics and pneumatic system. So oil hydraulic, we know it employs the pressurized liquid, that is petroleum oils and synthetic oils, and pneumatic employs the compressed air, and that is released to the atmosphere after performing the work. Okay, so oil, we know that oil will be, that is we will be using the pressurized oil, that is pressurized liquid, like petroleum oils and the synthetic oils, and we are having different grade oils also. If we see the fluid power applications, so next we will be studying about the fluid power application. So they can be categorized like in the two major segments, that is stationary hydraulics. Okay, so stationary hydraulic systems means what? They firmly fixed in one position. Okay, so that's why we call it as the stationary hydraulics. And the characteristics feature of the stationary hydraulics is that valves are mainly solenoid operated. Okay, so this topic we will study valves is there. So under unit number 3 we will be completely studying about the only valves. So we can say that the stationary hydraulics, it is solenoid operated. So what are the applications for the stationary hydraulics? So production and assembly of vehicles, then machine tools and transfer lines, lifting and conveying devices. Okay, so mainly in the fabrications and all we may use this stationary hydraulics. Then metal forming presses, then plastic machinery such as injection molding machines, rolling machines. Here we are going to use the stationary hydraulics. Then lifts. Okay, we know that lifts. Then food processing industry, then automatic handling and robotics. Okay, so all these are the stationary hydraulics. Then second segment is about the mobile hydraulics. So mobile hydraulic system, it moves on the wheel or tracks, such as tower crane. We know that tower crane is there. So again, there also we are using the hydraulics, but it comes under the mobile hydraulics. Or excavator trucks to operate in many different locations or while moving. So excavator trucks means what? Mainly it is used for carrying this sand and other materials and all. Okay, so that mainly it is traveling from one point to the another point. Then a characteristic feature of a mobile hydraulic is that, so the valves here, they are frequently manually operated. Okay, so these are the manual operated, like mainly this will be used in the construction equipments such as the backhoe loaders, cranes and all. So you may see that all these are the moving, and we have to use the manual operated. Manual operated means what? Usually the lever operation will be used. You have seen that in the backhoe loaders, bulldozers and all. Okay, so examples are here, that is automobiles, then tractors, aeroplane, missile, boats. Okay, all this use the mobile hydraulics. Then construction machineries, then tippers, we know, excavators, elevating platforms, then for lifting and conveying devices. And one more important thing come here is the agriculture machinery. So apart from this, there are many applications are there as with respect to the stationary hydraulics and mobile hydraulics. So there are other applications like in the marine, mining and all. Okay, so all these examples you can consider. So if we see the types of hydraulic system, so they are fluid transport system and fluid power system. So fluid transport means what? Mainly it is used for the transportation purpose. Okay, and fluid power means what? Mainly that will be used for the power generation. Okay, so power generation means what? To do the work. Then if we classify the fluid power system, so we can classify based on the control system, how we can control that fluid power. So first is the open loop system. Okay, then second comes the closed loop system. So in the open loop system, there is no feedback system. Okay, so directly the whatever the air is there, directly it will be released to the atmosphere. So here open loop system, there is no feedback system, but closed system we can use the feedback system. And if we consider based on the type of control, okay, so type of control, we can use the fluid logic control, like we can use AND gate, NAND gate, or NOR, etc. Okay, so again this fluid logic control we can divide into two parts, that is moving part logic, like we can use diaphragms, disc, and poppets. So all this to control, all this is used to control the flow direction and all. So then second is the fluidics. So fluidics means we will be using the fluid jets to control the system. So then second one is about the electrical control. Electrical controls, already we are having little bit awareness, like switches, relays, timers, solenoids. Okay, so based on, we can control by this electrical control also the operation. Then by electronic control is the PLCs and microprocessors. If we use PLCs and microprocessor, then it will become the electronic control. So here you can see the diagrams of the electro-pneumatic system and hydraulic system. Okay, so here that is push button is there, then proximity sensors, then solenoid. Okay, relay is there, solenoid, then reed switch. So all these are used for the control. So all this what are seen in the picture, all this used for the control of the system. Then control and distribution can be done through this wires. Okay, so wires here, that is for the electrical distribution, wires will be there. So but for the pneumatics we'll be using the pipes. Okay, pipes, hoses, okay, and tubes will be there. So if you see the hydraulic power transmission, power transmission means what? Hydro means water. Okay, and olos means what? It is pipe. That means the power transmission is a liquid, that is pneumatic gas. So hydraulic power transmission we can have in the two ways, that is hydrodynamic power transmission and hydrostatic. So hydrodynamic, what happens, we know that turbo pump is used, turbine is used, and what are the power transmission is done, that is done by the kinetic energy of the fluid, that is in the hydrodynamic. And still the relative spatial position is fixed. Whatever the relative position here, it will be fixed in the hydrodynamic. Hydrodynamic means mainly that is turbo machines, centrifugal pumps, all that use the hydrodynamic power transmission. So again, these are the compact units. Then hydrostatic power transmission means what? They are using positive displacement pumps. Okay, and here it creates the high pressure through a transmission line and control elements, and this pressure drives the actuator. So high pressure, it will drive the actuators, and actuator, it may be the linear or rotationary actuator. Okay, so here hydraulic power means, here hydro means water. Okay, So what are the advantages of the fluid power system? Advantages are that fluid power system, they are simple, they are easy to operate and can be controlled accurately. Then multiplication and variation of the forces can be done. That means we can multiply the forces. Okay, we can multiply the forces. Then it is used for the multifunction control. Okay, at a time we can control different operations. And then low speed torque is there. Low speed torque, constant force or torque can be generated in the fluid power system. It is economical, and low weight to power ratio is obtained. Then fluid power systems, they can be used where safety of is of the prime importance, that is of the vital importance. So where the safety is required, so we can use the fluid power systems. Okay, so then next we will study about the basic components of the hydraulic system. So if we see the basic components of the hydraulic system, first important part is the oil tank. Okay, so oil tank, it is used to store the oil. Then comes the filter. Okay, so then comes the filter. So filter is used to clean the oil or remove the contaminants. Then comes the pump. Okay, so then comes the pump. So pump, what will do due to the suction, due to the partial vacuum created, okay, suction will happen, so oil will enter the pump. Okay, and pump will deliver the pressurized fluid. Okay, so here pressure regulator is used to control the pressure of the system. Then motor is there, electric, this will be the electric motor. Okay, so it is the electric motor. So electric motor will, what it will do, it will run the pump. Okay, it will run the pump. Then oil from the pump, okay, it will go to the direction control valve. It will go to the direction control. So direction control, we are having three position, 1, 2 and 3. So 1 is for the off position, okay, and 2 is for the forward position, and 3 is for the return position. Then oil from the direction control, it will go to the actuator. Okay, so this is the actuator. So it here it carries the load. So this is the vertical cylinder. Okay, you know, this is the double acting cylinder, but it is vertical cylinder. So suppose 1 means what, it is in the off position. Okay, off position means what, there will be no flow to the direction control. So that time what will happen, this pressure regulator will operate. So this pressure regulator, here it acts as a pressure, it acts as a pressure relief valve. It acts as a pressure relief valve. So when it is closed, okay, so when it is closed, so that time what will happen, so oil cannot flow through the direction control valve. So that time what will happen, so oil, it will go here, the connection will be there from the pressure regulator to the delivery line. Okay, to the delivery line. So that time the oil will flow from here. Okay, then if we move to the second position, so second position means what, that time the oil will flow. Okay, so oil will flow from where, from pump to the direction control, from to the direction control. Then it will push this piston to the downward direction. Okay, then oil from here, it will be going to the tank. It will be going to the tank. So this is in the first position. So first position means what, this is, that is first that is the forward stroke. Okay, forward means what, we will be having the forward stroke. Okay, forward stroke means what, this piston will come down, piston will come down. Okay, then when I change the position from 2 to 3, okay, 2 to 3 mein kya hoga, so 2 to 3, that time, just I will erase this one. In the 2 to 3, so the oil flow will take place from pump to the this one piston side. Okay, so when I come to the return position, okay, return means what, oil has to be returned. So that time what will happen, so pump will be running. So from here the oil will go to the piston side. Okay, so oil will go to the piston side, then due to the high pressure, so this will be lifted upward. Okay, so the piston will come here. After coming, the piston will come here. So whatever the oil is present here, so it will go, and again from here it will come to the tank. Okay, from here, so this is the direction. Okay, so this we will study in detail when we will study about the pumps and hydraulic circuits and all. So now what you should know, that you should know about the basic components of the hydraulic system. That is, what is tank, filter, motor, then pump, then pressure regulator, direction control valve, and actuator. So direction control means what? It controls the direction of the flow of the fluid. Okay, first one position means what? Close position. Second position means what? Forward position. Then third means what? Return position. Okay, so that only explained here. So their hydraulic actuator means what? It is used to convert the fluid power into mechanical power to do the useful work. Then hydraulic pump, it is used to force the fluid from the reservoir to the rest of the hydraulic circuit. So pump, what it is doing, it is converting mechanical energy into hydraulic energy. Then comes the valves. So valves are used to control the direction, then pressure, flow rate of a fluid flowing through the circuit. Okay, so direction control valve means what? It will control the direction. Pressure control valve, it controls the pressure. Flow control valve, it controls the flow. Then same way we require the external power supply, that is the electrical motor, and it is required to drive the pump. And reservoir, it is used to hold the hydraulic liquid, that is the usually hydraulic oil. Then comes the piping system. So piping system means what? It carries the hydraulic oil from one place to the another. Then comes to the filters. So to remove any foreign particles, we are using the filters, that is contamination and all we are removing. Then comes the pressure regulator. So pressure regulator means what? It regulates, that is maintains the required level of pressure in the hydraulic fluid. So we can also draw the hydraulic system in this way, that is reservoir. Okay, then here you can see filter. So this is the ISO symbol of filter, ISO symbol of the filter. So this is also one topic is there, so we will study there about the ISO symbol of filter, then pump, okay, motor. So using the ISO symbol also we can draw, see here, filter, pump, this is the symbol of the motor, then direction control valve. So this is a 4x3 direction control valve. Okay, that is 4 direction and 3 position. So this is like here we have said, this is first position, close position, then second one, forward position, then third one is the return position. So this I have explained. Then comes the cylinder. So this is the ISO symbol of the cylinder. So this is for the extension, then this is for the retraction. So in this way also you can represent this hydraulic system. So here it shows the symbols. So how it looks like here. So here in generally you can see, so this is the unit, power pack unit. Okay, so inside this only pump tank will be there, then pump will be there, and this is the motor, then this is the direction control valve, and this is the actuator. And same that we can represent this in the ISO symbol format, symbolic representation. Okay, so you can see your tank, filter, pump, DCV, okay, actuator, all these are related. So next we will study about the components of pneumatic system. Okay, so pneumatic system, what happens? So since you have seen that hydraulic system, it is closed one. So here pneumatic, what will happen? Air from the atmosphere, it comes to the air filter. Okay, from air filter, air compressor is used. So air compressor, what it do? It compress the air. Okay, and it also compress the air means what? The pressure will also increase and temperature will also increase. So for that temperature, if there is increase in temperature, we'll be using this air cooler. Okay, so again the compressor is there, it has to be run. So it will, here we will be using motor. Okay, and motor, the power supply is used. Then we are using this pressure switch. Okay, so whenever the set pressure is reached, so this pressure switch will be operated. So again, further we can use the storage reservoir for storing the air. Okay, storage reservoir for storing the air. And in addition to this storage, after the storage reservoir, we will be using the here comes the FRL unit, that is filter, regulator, and lubricator. Then afterwards, the air will go to this direction control valve. Okay, from the direction control valve, then air will go to the actuator. So same way here, 1 means what? Off position, 2 means what? Forward position, and 3 means return position. So 1 position means what? So it will be closed one. Okay, 1 means what? The air can't flow through this direction control valve. So that time this pressure switch will be operated. Okay, then second, forward means what? So air it will flow to this rod end. Okay, so normally we call this as the rod end, this side, rod side, because you can see this is the rod. Okay, piston rod. So this is piston rod. So that's why we call it as the rod side, and this is the piston. This is the piston. So that's why we call it as the piston side, piston side. Okay, so for this piston side, we can also call it as the cap end also. Okay, so second, forward position means what? So air will be going from compressor to the direction control valve, then direction control valve to the rod end. Okay, so then this piston will come downward, and from here the air, it will come to the direction control valve. From the direction control, what you can see, it is going to the atmosphere. Okay, in hydraulic system, what was happening? So oil, it was going to the tank. Oil was going to the tank, so it was in the circulation. But here what is happening? Air we are taking from the atmosphere, and again air, after doing the work, is released to the atmosphere. ठीक है, then return position में क्या होगा? Now the piston is in this position, तो piston नीचे आ गया रहेगा. ओके, तो पिस्टन को ऊपर ढकेलना पड़ेगा. तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? दो एयर क्या है, कंप्रेसर से डायरेक्शन कंट्रोल में आएगा, देन इट विल कम टू हियर. सो एयर का डायरेक्शन ऐसे रहेगा. ओके, सो दिस मतलब आपने देखा रहेगा इसमें, यू हैव सीन दैट इन द symbol of that direction control, cross symbol. Okay, so air will come here to the piston side, then the piston will move upward. Okay, then piston will come here. Okay, so then the air left collected here, so it will come to the direction control, then from the direction control, see, it will go to the release to the atmosphere. Okay, so in this way there is this pneumatic system will work. So what are the working is there? Working of hydraulic system and pneumatic system, almost they are same. Only thing is that hydraulic system, it is a closed loop system, and pneumatic system, it is a open loop system. So here you can see the application, typical application of pneumatic system, how the compressor, this is the compressor unit, then storage reservoir. Okay, then we are using the FRL unit, then we are using the DCV. So here I am showing the 3x2 DCV, that is 3 ports and 2 position. Okay, then comes the 5x2 DCV is there. 5x2 DCV means what? 5 ports and 2 positions. So all this direction control we will study in detail in the third unit. So we can say that hydraulic system, it can be broken into 4 main divisions, which are analogous to electrical system. That we can say that the power device, it is parallel to the electrical generating station. Then the control valves, it is parallel to the switches, resistors, and pressure switches, relays, etc. for the electrical. Then the lines in which the fluid power flows, they are parallel to the electrical lines. So fluid is flowing in the pipes, and same way electricity will be flowing in the electrical lines. Then fluid power motor, whether it is rotating or non-rotating cylinder. Okay, so that is parallel to the solenoids and electrical motors. So fluid power motor, that is the similar to the electrical motor. So we can say that whatever the hydraulic systems is there, that will be analogous to the electrical system. If you compare the hydraulic and pneumatic system, hydraulic system, it employs a pressurized liquid as a fluid. Pneumatic system, it employs the compressed gas, that is usually air is used. Okay, So hydraulic system, that is liquid, that is we'll be using the oil and pneumatic air. And oil hydraulic system, the pressure is up to 700 bar, but pneumatic it is 5 to 10 bar. Okay, so this you have to keep in mind, that is high pressure and low pressure. Hydraulic for high pressure, pneumatic for low pressure. So this is hydraulic system, it is a closed system. Okay, and this pneumatic system, it is a open system. We have seen that in the diagram. So here the hydraulic system, it slows down when leakage is occur. Okay, so when leakage occurs, it slows down. So leakage is not affecting in the pneumatic system. Then here the wall operations, they are difficult. Wall operations are easy in pneumatic system. They are heavier in weight. Hydraulic system lighter in weight. Pneumatic system. So mainly here what we are using the pumps. One pumps. So pump, it is pressurizes the liquid. So here in pneumatic system we are using the compressors, and compressors are used to compress the gas. Then the system, hydraulic system, it is unsafe to fire hazards, and pneumatic system, it is free from fire hazards. Okay, since because here we will be using the oil, so there may be the chances of sometimes if we are overrunning the machine, so sometimes there may be chances of the fire. Then automatic lubrication is provided in the hydraulic system, so no need to have the lubrication because already oil we are using in the hydraulic system. But for pneumatic we need special arrangements for lubrication. Okay, we can compare the different power systems. So that is, we can compare mechanical, electrical. Okay, as I said, power transmission is done by using 3 ways: mechanical, electrical, and fluid power. So this pneumatic and electrical, we combinedly we call it as the fluid power. So we can have the comparison. Okay, so this you can see, that is input energy source. Okay, so mechanical IC engine, electrical motor is there, electrical IC engine, water. Okay, so pneumatic mainly pressure tank. Okay, same way, that is we can compare with respect to the energy transfer. Okay, energy carrier, power to weight ratio, torque. Okay, so motion type, control. So you may find that the this one, pneumatic system and hydraulic system, so they will beat this mechanical and electrical system in any way. Okay, so using this comparison we can say that fluid power system are very much used in nowadays for the automation and all. So what is the future of fluid power industry in India? If you see, so the automation market, it is estimated to be 1/10 that of the China. And with the increasing emphasis on automation, quality control, then safety, and more efficient and green energy system, so fluid power technology, it will continue to expand in India. Okay, if we consider all these points, so all these points can be satisfied by using the fluid power. And the growth rate of this industry in India is about twice the growth of economy. So we can see nowadays fluid power is boom. And the reason for this are, as the economy grows, the industry will also grow. So because our economy is growing now. Then second one is, there is a lot of automation and conversion into more sophisticated manufacturing methods, so which increases this rate. Okay, so that is normally this is due to the automation. Then third one is that India is becoming an attractive destination for manufacturing and outsourcing of the some of the products. So nowadays you can see the example that many of the manufacturing companies, they are shifting from China to the India and all. Okay, so that's why we can say that the future of the fluid power is very good, and mainly it is dependent on the economy. Okay, so thank you very much. So here in this session we had the discussion about the fluid power basics, its advantages and the limitation. Hope everyone understood. So thank you very much all of you, and take care of yourself.